the Epic Collection for Black Widow. Beware the Black Widow, it's called. First off, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when future videos are out. And it goes here, the origins of the Avengers Secret Agent revealed. The cover price is $39.99, but you can find it cheaper online. It has Tales of Suspense 52 and 53, 57, 60, and 64. Avengers 29, 30, 36, 37, 43, 44. Amazing Spider-Man 86, Amazing Adventures, which was her solo series for half a book, 1 to 8, Daredevil 81, and material, which is only a couple of pages, from Avengers 16, 32, 33, 38, 39, 41, 42, 45, 47, 57, 63, 64, and 76. Basically, they made this Epic Collection, and there is another one, to capitalize on the Black Widow movie. And what I like about this book is it contains basically all of the relevant appearances of the character in the early years until you see like the version that became the status quo. You see, this was her first appearance, Tales of Suspense 52. She was an Iron Man villainess and working for the Soviets, which mysteriously in the early issues suddenly changed to the Chinese like Soviets instead of like the Russian white Soviets. It wasn't ever really explained why. Most of this run, the early issues, were by Stan Lee and Roy Thomas, and you got Don Heck, John Buscema, and Gene Colan, which were like the primary work establishing the character. And yeah, it has that 1960s vibe to it, because this was when the character was introduced. It really was just as a minor villainous, sort of like a supporting character. But what happened is she stuck around. You know, like a lot of these villains that you have, they're like one-shots, or you rarely see him, or they don't catch on. But for some reason, the character had enough appeal early on that she stuck around. And what happened is, on the first appearance of Hawkeye, which we get here also in this book, and let's get to the cover. Right there. Tales of Suspense 57. This is the first Hawkeye issue, so you get the first appearance of Hawkeye as well in this volume. And they teamed up against Iron Man. It was Hawkeye and the Black Widow against Iron Man. Which is kind of funny because the movie played up also that they had a relationship. In the movies it was a friendship, but these characters early on in the Iron Man run stuck around together in many adventures. And the thing is, like, I got this in the Iron Man Epic. You know, I might as well read it again since I bought this book, right? And then you get to the stuff that I really didn't have, or I didn't read before. So, the first... Okay, so check this out. In issue 64, this was her first costume. It was only later by John Romita, which you will see in this volume, that we get the classic Black Widow costume. This was an early, unsuccessful attempt for a costume that didn't last. But I didn't think it was necessarily a bad costume. But the first 79 pages of this 396-page book are basically the Tales of Suspense issues, which you probably have already in the Iron Man book. And then we move on to the Avengers material. And then the Avengers stuff, that's when you get a lot of just like 2, 3, or 4 pages when she appeared in certain issues and they didn't give you the whole issue because the character really wasn't in those issues. And the Avengers issues where she is relevant, that's when you get the whole complete issue. So if you have the Avengers, the early stuff, whether it be the epics or the omnibuses, you know, just like all the relevant stuff is what's presented here. Not every issue, not every single panel, but all the relevant stuff for the early years. And you can see it here. And then where it gets really interesting is after the Avengers appearances, right? She gets her new costume in the Spider-Man issue, which was designed actually by John Romita Sr., classic Spidey artist. And it was in issue 86 that the Black Widow you are familiar with in comic books, the look, etc. That's when the character got the look we're all familiar with and became the iconic version of the character. And what happens after that is she gets a solo series, okay? And it's shared with the Inhumans and the Black Widow. And it only lasted 8 issues, but it had a really nice setup of artists and writers. It had John Buscema on the art, but a really good combination that you don't see much of. And let's just get to it a second. Is check this out. You got Gene Colan, inked by Bill Everett. Bill Everett, creator of the Submariner. That is an unusual combination, but it looks magnificent. It's probably the best looking issues in the whole entire volume to get that pairing of artist and writer. And you get some extras at the back, not too much. And so this is that Epic collection. It is volume 1 of that Epic collection. They do have a volume 2 on the further adventures of the character. And this is what the cover looks like. You know, if you're paying around $25 range, which is what I think I got this in, about that, I think it's worthwhile because you get all of the early relevant stuff of the character in one volume in order. And that's the appeal, you know, that you get all of that. But if you already have the Iron Man volumes, if you already have the Avengers volumes, you really don't need this. Other than this organizes it all. And those amazing adventures, 1 to 8, are just really nice. Probably the highlight of the book overall. And so that's my review of the Black Widow. If you like this review, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I will talk to you later.